So in this video, we'll look at adding in staircases so we can actually move between the floors um, in our structure. What I'm going to do first is just add ground with a ground scale of 2, which will add some tiles around our structure, so that we'll be able to use our player. Let's raise that up a little bit so it's above ground level. So we just go into play mode, so I can just go into the see all the doors are set to open depending on the player object. So let's just see how we can add some staircases. We have our building, which is 3 floors high, but at the moment there's no way for the player to navigate or to move between those floors as there's no stairs. So the first thing we'll do, we'll add in a staircase prefab, which we have in our prefab templates here. So we've got staircase castle 1, so we know this will fit in with our other castle 1 tiles. We'll keep it to 100 probability, scale of 1, 1, and 1. And in our floor plan editor, we'll add in a staircase. So if we choose staircase from the segment type, for this template, our stairwell length is 2 and our stairwell width is 1. That may well change depending on how you build your staircases. Per se, in the demo starter tiles, they're length 2 and width of 1. So if I click on Start Editing Stairwell Segments, I choose the starting position, which will be the bottom left-hand corner of the staircase, and then a direction that I want it to go into, which will be too long, depending on our length, and this will fill in the other sides of the stairwell. By default, I'll just click on Stop there. By default, the start and end height will be 0 and 1. That means it'll go from the ground floor to the first floor. So let's see what that looks like. Close the grid, and I shall build. We'll see it's placed our staircase in the right position. And we see there it's going from the ground floor to the first floor, but there's nothing higher up. So what we can do in the floor plan editor is we'll set the start and end height to 0, 0 default, which means it'll go all the way through the building, right through to the roof, no matter what height the building is set on. If we go back, we'll close that grid and build room again. You see we now have a staircase which goes all the way through to the roof. If we want to increase the floor frequency, or to make, if the floors are more than 1 tile high, for example, if we make it 6 high and floor frequency of 2, so that means we still have 3 floors, but each one is 2 tiles high, and build a room. Once again, depending on how we create our staircase. See, in this case, we're going to need a little extra balcony here to get around the stairs. So we can do that quite easily using the actual um, decorations. So if we look at the stair prefabs, if we add a decoration prefab, the first one will always be the balcony. So if we add a balcony castle 1, make that 100. Also with a scale of 1 to 1 to 1 as always. If we now go back to inspector, go build room, we should see that on the alternative where there is no floor, it'll actually put in a little balcony to enable us to actually physically move up the stairs. And we can test that using our player demo player controller. Get right up to the roof. If we wanted a top section, we can also add in a second decoration prefab. And instead of a balcony, we'll say staircase top castle 1. And we need to make that 1 tile high, so it sits on top. And now if we go build room, we should see that we have a let's have a look. Oh, I did it on the wrong one. That's 0. There should be 5 on here. Okay, there we go. And it'll work automatically if I go back to 3 and 1. And test that in first person mode. We've got a little top section up the top there. That'll also work if you go back to 6 too high. And we could have as many staircases as we want. For example, we could have one that is now going all the way up, or we could, for example, we go back to our floor plan editor. And we select our stairwell once again. Let's just delete this one. And we'll create one over here. So that, as I say, by default will go from 0 to 1. We could then move up from the current floor 0. We could move up to the first floor, and we could add in one over here. See that one should be 1 to 2. We can move up one further floor. See, this one's now disappeared. It's not there, but this one at the top. We can add another one over here. and this one will be going from 2 to 3. So let's see what that looks like. So here we have our first, it goes to the first floor, then we have another one over here, which goes to the second floor, and then we have one here, which goes up to the roof. And that'll work. Let's just set that back to 3-1. It's sometimes easier to see. You can see there we have our first staircase here, our second staircase, our third one, getting all the way up. So we're having each one going up one floor. We just test that in first person mode. So you have quite a lot of flexibility to how these staircase will work and their positioning. Obviously, in a real level, wouldn't be so close together, but as I say, you can either have staircases going up various floors and then continuing at a different location, moving further up.